Welcome to the O-Tech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Welcome to OpenTechTalks.tv, and today we have a guest speaker, Mchugh, and he's the president of SHOPX, a Web3 company, and I'm excited to have him on the show because Web3 is one of the emerging technology, and in the tech sector from last couple of years is on the top of the hype cycle, and everyone was going through to Web3. So today we will learn from Eric what he's doing and how the other folks can get benefit from the Web3. So Eric, welcome to the show. If you can.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you. So Eric, if you can give us a brief about yourself. What are you doing now? How did you start it?
Sure, I'm happy to. Nice to meet everyone. My name is Eric. I'm 30 years old. I'm blessed to be living in beautiful Southern California. My main hobbies are chess, Muay Thai, reading, anything under the sun, and meditation. I just got back from a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat in Joshua Tree, so if that strikes a boat, I'd highly recommend everyone check it out. It's a beautiful, transformative experience. Career-wise, I went to school at the University of California, Irvine, during which time I interned in Barcelona as a project manager. That was a good learning experience to see how different cultures work together. And as a government affairs consulting intern in Washington, D.C. And again, that was cool to see how the inner workings of D.C. just kind of functioned. Right out of college, my first job was at Snap Inc., helping craft their ad algorithm to make it sticky. There are two main reasons I chose that position. The first was location. And if you're from California, it's located on Venice Beach, which is a really fun area. And it's not just one campus. They purchased a bunch of different houses. So it's a bunch of different work pods. So you go around to different houses or different locations and work with different groups of people, which I found cool. The second reason I chose that position was the timing. And that was a month before Snap's IPO. Obviously, I joined late, so I didn't have equity or too many. I just kind of wanted to see what it was like going through that as a company. So I'm like, okay, this seems like a good start to the career. And it was. You learned a lot. From there, I figured it'd be nice to get a full 9-to-5, just typical, out of college grad job. And where I landed was as a bankruptcy consultant for Fortune 500 companies going through the Chapter 11 bankruptcy process. For your listeners, what that is if a major company, such as one of our clients is Washington Mutual, Route 21, plenty of retailers, if they go bankrupt, there's a lot of debt that has to be properly allocated between the investors, the company, the shareholders, just a bunch of people. Right. And so the consultants work with the court and lawyers just to get that all situated. At that time, I was really getting into Bitcoin, researching the ethos, listening to all the old school podcasts. I had my friends, we had a friend group. We text each other Mchugh to read, articles to read, podcasts to listen to, just funny, entertaining tweets. They ended up at Coinbase and Kraken. So as a consultant, my incentive was to bill out hours for the firm so they could bill out the client. And in bankruptcy consulting, there's levels of creditors, meaning tier 1 gets paid first, tier 2 gets paid second, and so forth and so forth. And of course, me, you, the mom and pops, the everyday average citizen, we obviously get paid dead last. So in that situation, it's often pennies on the dollar. And as a consultant billing out the firm, I felt that I was taking away from that pool, which didn't align with the non-rent sinking behavior of Bitcoin at the time. So I waited for my bonus. I quit without a plan, or I quit without a backup position. I knew I was going to go into crypto or Web3 at the time before it's called Web3. I started going to local cryptocurrency meetups. I met the original SHOPX team there, so we've been kicking for a while. During the last downturn, we started a spin-off SaaS platform called Paul and Lear Card Rev. It had two different names. What that did is it replaced affiliate codes for e-commerce brands. Its secret sauce was, it was on Shopify. Its secret sauce was we kept the checkout native within social media apps, which they weren't a big fan of. And we also kept the checkout within 4 clicks just to increase conversion rates. So the way that would work is if you're a brand, you're on Shopify, you upload your products to our database, and then any user could sell any product through their individual personal link. So if I like this Nike shoe, this Reebok hat, this Adidas sweater, I could add all 3 to a personal link, and then you, as my friend or follower, or whomever, can make that purchase with within 4 clicks within Instagram. You get a discounted product, so you're happy. I get a commission, so I'm happy. Brand gets a sale, so they're obviously very happy.
Right.
At its peak, it had over 100 Shopify brands using it, which is key because all that knowledge transferred over into ShopX. Because you have to learn how to interact with Web2 brands.
Right.
What ShopX is I want you to think of the Google or Apple Web3. Long term, we're going to be a suite of products for a brand to simply download it. We're on Shopify or WooCommerce right now, but long term, we're going to be a suite of products for a brand to download an app and start interacting Web3 and get benefits. We have 2 products live right now. The first is Reserve X, so that's NFT-powered loyalty programs. We have over 500 Shopify downloads. We're launching on WooCommerce very soon, and we have major clients such as Fox Studios. So within the Shopify app, you as a brand with no technical help, you can launch a NFT collection in a very simple way. It's so simple. During QA, my mom could do it, or my grandma was able to do it. You just fill out a form saying name of the pass, image, the pricing, and then from there you can add e-commerce benefits to that pass. Your customer then has the option to purchase the pass because they want the e-commerce benefits. So let's say hypothetically, Nike were to use our products and services. They launch a gold tier pass. The gold tier pass gets early access to autographed merchandise. The customer wants the autographed merchandise. They make that purchase. They get the pass. And now whatever e-commerce benefits the brand wants to continuously give the customer, they're totally enabled to do so. So as a brand, you're launching your NFT pass in a very simple way. Again, at ShopX, we wanted to keep it as simple as possible because we understand not many people interact with Web3, hence the simplification of the whole process. In the back end, you're deploying your own smart contract, you're doing a bunch of stuff, but all you see is 2 simple forms to fill out.
Okay.
So when you're filling out those forms, obviously as a brand, you want to get paid. You get control over 95% of the funds. So if you're working with an agency or an influencer, you can program in their wallet address into the smart contract to ensure they get paid. ShopX earns our revenue from that extra 5%. So it's a free service. And so this leads into our second product, which is SquadX. That's the first
so before
ever.
going to SquadX, let's pause that one. And let's walk me through if I have a WooCommerce site, and it's an e-commerce site built on WooCommerce, and maybe it's any products. It could be a retail, or it could be a cosmetics, or it could be a clothes, or anything. So as an owner of that WooCommerce website, which I'm running it, how I can onboard your ShopX, this app or this software, how I can onboard it?
So the onboarding process is actually super simple. Right now, for your listeners, Shopify is an app store. Just think of the app store on Apple, and WooCommerce has one similar. So we're live on WooCommerce in the sense you can download a zip file, and then you can start interacting with the app. But within the month, we'll be live on the App Store too. So at that time, you're on WooCommerce, you go to the App Store, you search ShopX, and all you do is create a ShopX account from within the app within your WooCommerce store. And ShopX has a Web3 pricing model, meaning our tokens are actually tokenized software licenses. So if you wanted to use our products and services, you'd have to have a set amount of those tokenized software licenses. And within the app, if you have those licenses present in your wallet, you get full access.
Okay. And now this development journey, this ShopX is how their development journey is going on to develop, which technology they're using, if it's not proprietary or something which you don't want to share it, and how their journey is to development process.
So in as an overall, it's a consistent development journey, meaning we're constantly optimizing our products and services. A very key aspect in that is actual customer feedback. So if the customer, because obviously the customer is the most important thing for us, and we're not a B2B company, we're a B2B2C company, meaning ShopX could onboard all the brands in the world, but if their customers don't want the pass, it's not a win for the brand or the customer. So we're constantly reiterating feedback. In terms of development, we usually work with third-party studios with the leadership of a ShopX core team. And then from there, they kind of help develop the software. Once it's live, we spend time hardening it, just because in terms of Web3, stuff is always changing in the background. So we have to do some fixes. The brands don't need to know about that. But from there, we just keep the product running and keep it running for our clients.
Okay. And what was the background of the ShopX? How they arrived to this idea or this business model?
Sure. So when ShopX first started, so long term, we're going to attach so in terms of NFTs, there are the normal NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. ShopX likes to differentiate our NFTs as NFTs, which are NFTs with e-commerce value. When the company started, our plan was to attach a NFT to each individual physical product SKU. So picture like the scene in the Matrix where Neo summoned all the guns. It'd be like that in Web3, and that has numerous benefits. So imagine you're Nike, you attach a NFT to each individual product SKU. You can track that product throughout its whole lifetime history. So you can see it sold at this day for this much, at this day for this much, and so forth. And you can also program in royalties for that, so you can get paid. From the customer's standpoint, it has value for you as well, meaning you can trace the product all the way back to Nike. You can see its ownership history. And let's say you're hypothetically building a car, you want to see where all the parts are from. You can ensure all the parts are authentic. And if you want to transfer into the metaverse, if in the metaverse you purchase a Nike glasses, or if in real life you purchase a Nike glasses in real life, if that product has a NFT attached to that, that's the perfect way to transfer to the metaverse, and vice versa. If you purchase a product in the metaverse, you get the NFT in real life, and then you can claim a token gated product in the store. So we started off with that vision, but due to customer demand, and we want our goal is to best serve our customers, they wanted the NFT loyalty program first, just because that's a real revenue making product. It's live, it's more understandable. Whereas if you're you're helping them with supply chain management through the NFT service, that takes much longer to implement.
Okay. Now, there's a general perception that metaverse came and then it was like on a hype, and now it is going down. Companies are not getting benefits out of it, and seems some sort of understanding is developing for the NFT and all that. But how do you see, because you're doing it actually, how your adoption from a customer side is growing? What do you see?
Yeah, so in terms of the metaverse, I completely agree with that assessment. The hype came, brands tried it didn't work. I would say we're probably 5 to 10 years out from actual people using the metaverse. It has to be much more usable for the average everyday person to use it. In terms of our adoption, right now we're really early on the NFT Web3 curve. I would say in 5 to 10 years it's fully adopted, and by fully adopted I mean people are using it without knowing they're using it. That's where it has to be. So right now we're just seeing the big brands get in, like Nike, Tiffany's, and all that stuff. And as they get in, the smaller brands will follow. And the two biggest issues for Web3 mass adoption I see are user interface. It's if you're in crypto and Web3 and you try to interact with anything, it's not sustainable for the general public. So as the big brands come in, they have the incentive to offer products and services that actually their customers use. So they'll help build that. And the second barrier to Web3 mass adoption is incentive. So before, no one really had any cryptocurrency or any real reason to interact with cryptocurrency. But if you want the e-commerce benefits that come with the pass, you have to. And to give more color with that, with our first brand, the Mag Park, they're a local store in LA. They were able to sell 93.75 Ether worth of passes to their customer base. So I think they 5x their annual revenue just on the past drop without shipping a product. But the important factor was over 50% of their users who purchased the pass were 100% brand new to crypto, meaning they never interacted with the space. They've never had Ethereum before, but they're like, okay, I want that. In this case, it came with a hat. You purchase the pass, it comes with a hat. So they learned how to interact with the crypto system, and now they're happy pass holders. They're giving feedback to the brand, and they get continuous benefits from the brand by holding the pass.
Okay. So if someone want to start the journey into Web3, what are your 3 top tips you can offer them, what they should be looking or targeting?
Are you talking about from a brand perspective or from an individual crypto perspective?
From a brand pointer.
Okay, so from the brand perspective, my first big tip is to do a crawl, walk, run approach, meaning start off small. I mean, there's no need in doing a major drop. We want your customers to be happy. We understand it's new technology. So obviously do a small drop first. If it does well, you can do a larger drop. If that does well, you can do more. So the first tip would be the going slow at first. The second tip would be to actually do a planned marketing push, meaning this is a product and service that you're selling to your customers, so you can't just announce a drop at that point. And brands have done this in the past. We're like, oh, by the way, we're doing this NFT thing, and the customers are like, what is this? Why would I want that? So yeah, so like obviously a proper marketing push with social media, emails, however normal campaigns you'd want to do. Yeah, just get that going. I mean, treat it like an actual product you're trying to sell your customers. And the third tip I would say is the best time to do something is right now. So right now, if you were to enter Web3, you get some groundwork as a thought leader in the space. So I would suggest getting into Web3 before the masses come here, just so you have some first mover advantage.
Okay. And all right. Now, if we treat for someone who want to develop a solution or maybe a use case in the Web3 to offer as a service, or it could be something, the way you guys are doing it. And he's maybe a software developer or maybe whatever the carrier he has in the technology carrier, and he wants to move to the Web3 to do something. What are your maybe key suggestions or inputs to him? What he should be doing it?
As a software developer wanting to enter Web3, the best time, I mean, to be honest, it's just a leap of faith type of thing. You just have to start going, network your way with real events. A lot of Web3 projects could use some technical help, so just be helpful, and they'll most likely bring you on board. In terms of tech stack, I would get familiar with the graph. A lot of people use React, so the graph is, I would say, a big issue for a lot of Web3 companies, and what that is, it's reading the blockchain. So yeah, I get familiar with the graph. Obviously, keep your GitHub up to date. Just show involvement with actual products, and if you're really trying to network your way in, you can always join a company Discord and just be helpful. And they're like, "Who is this person?" I'm like, "Oh, here's my GitHub. Here's my resume. I'm looking to help any way I can." My biggest advice is don't come in expecting like Web2 SaaS salaries. And yes, you do get those in the bull market, but don't come in expecting okay, like I need like $500,000 type of thing. Just be like, okay, I'm willing to work. Here's the value to provide, and then from there, if you become an integral part of the team, they'll most likely bring you on full time.
Great tip. Thank you so much for that. So now maybe if you can share about your second product, which you guys have.
Sure. So SquadX, it ties the logic behind SquadX is it's better to give than receive. So just as if your listeners know Twitter, they pay their creators and their ad revenue from they pay the creators from their ad revenue. ShopX pays our community for helping our system grow from ReserveX revenue. So if in ReserveX, the brand has control over 95% of the funds, ShopX earns 5%. Every time a brand mints, since it's a free service, we earn 5% of the minting cost of a brand sells one NFT for $100. ShopX earns $5, and then half of that we share with our community. So out of the $100, the one mint, the community will get 2.5 based on how many licenses they've staked and the work they've done. The logic behind this system is it creates an upward spiral for all parties. So as the hype and crypto returns and more brands use ShopX, more mints happen, ShopX earns more and more ETH. Therefore, our community gets paid more and more ETH. And I think we both know people love to get paid. Once they get paid, they start posting about it. They get a massive incentive to invest in the product, or emotionally invest in the product. And then from there, they start posting, creating more attention, more buzz around ShopX, which should in turn bring more and more brands, bringing more and more ETH, and creating an upward spiral for everyone. So it's a way to create a system where everyone wins, because ShopX obviously wins. We're onboarding people to Web3. We're creating revenue. The brands win because they're getting sales, they're getting free attention, their customers are getting products, so they're happy. And then our community is kept happy because they're also getting paid in real Ethereum. So that's a cool aspect.
True. So how do you see Eric in next 3 to 5 years? What he will be doing?
I'll be doing whatever stimulates my intellectual curiosity. My overall goal in life is to have a nice, peaceful life. I didn't think I could do that with the money system being as corrupt as it is, and I view cryptocurrency as a solution to that. So actually, that's how I got in. And rather than onboard my family to Bitcoin like one at a time throughout years at Thanksgiving, ShopX is a great way for me to leverage this at scale to create a 0 to 1 moment for a lot of people. And then at that point, it's on them. If they want to learn more, they can. If they don't want to, they obviously don't have to.
True. All right. Thank you so much, Eric, for joining the show. If you want to share maybe some concluding remarks to the audience.
Yeah, so if you're trying to learn more about ShopX, the absolute best way to do that is to check out our website, shopx.co. But if you're really trying to learn more, our Twitter, ShopX Lab, is the best bet. And within the summary, we have a Discord channel for our community members. And if you ask me about ShopX, I'll say it's great because it's biased. But if you ask our community members, they're honest people. So if they don't like something, they'll say it. If they like something, they'll say it. So they'll give you an actual honest answer. So just always do your own research.
Great. Thank you so much, Eric, for joining and sharing your experience and journey primarily from, and very openly accepting about the way metaverse and all those technologies are going through in with the up and down, and then coming back to that one. Sharing your true and honest, I think, views are very, very important for our audience to get some benefit out of it. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Thanks for listening to the OTech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.